Hi all, this is Pretty Pink 315 and this is my first video, and it's a response video to a video called Mojo Bags, which was posted by the user TipToeChick. Pretty much in the video she goes over and explains from at least her understanding what Mojo Bags are and how to make them. Let me just say that the point of my video is not really to challenge her in any way or to say what she's doing is necessarily wrong, but there were a couple of things I wanted to address as someone whose maternal family is from the South and is African American, and you know, hoodoo being a part of our heritage and our history. I kind of wanted to make sure whatever information that's out there is accurate, especially if people are going to be looking at these videos and trying it out for themselves. You know, you don't really want to write a check you can't cash just because things weren't made clear. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And the first point I wanted to address is this. TipToeChick states early on in the video that hoodoo is a form of voodoo, which is a common belief, but it's 100% not true. Voodoo is a spiritual tradition. It's a religion, a respected religion where I come from, and the spiritual element is very much present, very much alive, and God and the spirits are an integral, vital piece of that tradition, and they cannot be separated. Now, hoodoo, on the other hand, is not a religion. It's not. In fact, I dare to say that probably the majority of hoodoo practitioners are Christian, for the most part. I'm not, but I would say most people who practice hoodoo are Christian. And it is a magical, for lack of a better word, system. It's sort of a mixed magical system too, because it incorporates obviously some African magic, but Native and European magic as well. But I'm not going to get into all that in this video. But bottom line, hoodoo is not voodoo, and voodoo is not hoodoo. Much like witchcraft is a practice and Wicca is a religion, hoodoo is a practice and voodoo is a religion, to simplify it. I hope that makes sense. Another thing I wanted to address is this thing about pre-made sachets and colors. Now, if you're making bags within the context of your own tradition, obviously you're going to follow whatever the tradition teaches about color association and magical properties. But if you're doing this strictly within the context of hoodoo, then the color associations may be a little different. Traditional Mojo bags are red, like a red, very soft fabric, but there are different colors. In hoodoo, I know white is for blessings, green is for money, purple is for power, brown is for court cases and things like that. So that might be something you want to, look into just to double check and be sure. I mean, certainly there are probably a lot of overlaps, especially with hoodoo, because of this cross-cultural exchange that's happened historically to shape hoodoo into what it is. But again, just putting it out there. The last thing I wanted to talk about are the contents, what you're actually putting into the Mojo bag, depending on your purpose. But that's typically going to be, an herb of some kind. As TipToeChick said, maybe a tiny scrap of paper with your intention on it, some kind of crystal maybe. But it's my understanding, and I will check with my grandmother after this to be sure, but Mojo bags are supposed to have an odd number of objects in them, like 3, 5, or 7 things. Rarely do I hear about a bag with more than 7 or 9 things in it, but I'm pretty sure as long as it's odd, it doesn't matter. And I'm pretty sure there's an exception to every rule, but it's just, just something to think about. Also, and I know it's the last thing, but something else to add. Also, it's very important to give the Mojo bag power, or as my old professor would say, give it ashe, give it life, give it breath, give it spirit, so that it will work, so that it will do its work, so that it will carry out your will. And you do that by perhaps blessing it with a prayer or with incense, the smoke of incense. I prefer frankinmyrrh. It's supposed to be like a, a holy herb, so I prefer frankinmyrrh. Or you could use Florida water, things like that. So I just wanted to basically add to or build on that. Like I said, not to throw shade anybody's way, but I just came across the video and I thought it was really important to make sure that additional information was out there so that people could understand, while there are multiple ways to do things, there are traditional ways to do them also. So that's my video. That's my advice on it. Take it or leave it, but I just wanted to get that out there.